How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Brew Bros channel. This is Ed and Tim. We've returned to the garden. We can actually meet now in person. It's been 4 months since December.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's nice to be able to do this again. Hope you guys are all well. This is the follow-up video to 2 brew days that Ed did recently. The American... Sorry about the smoke, by the way. We ran out of smokeless logs. Hope you can still see us.
Yeah.
This follows up on
Rubbish.
2 brew days that Ed did recently. One is an American Pale Ale, and the other is the clone of the NEIPA Even Sharks Need Water by Verdant. So we're just going to taste those and see how they handle.
Cool. Here we go. So this is the NEIPA first up. Bottled freshly today from the keg. Here we go, a little bit of hiss.
Remember to see some hazy goodness.
So it's obviously going to be cloudy.
Yeah, that's fine.
Look. Well, that's grapefruit juice.
Oh, looks good. Looks great.
Yeah, colour-wise, very happy with it.
Talk us through it. Nice and hazy?
Yeah, really nice and hazy, isn't it? Great colour. Nice amount of head. Sort of,
Looks dead on.
I mean, the NEIPA, when we tried the Only Sharks, when we tried it, we kind of described it as being like a kind of, like a yoghurty kind of consistency, and it's got that again, hasn't it?
It does.
Whether that comes up in the
When do we
camera.
drink? Oh, wow.
What?
Smells great.
Yeah?
Smells
I
really
don't
good.
want to blow my own trumpet again, but yeah, I'm very happy with
It's
that.
quite pineapple. It's quite pineapple-y.
Yeah. So you can remember what the original
Yeah.
taste
It's
was.
citrusy, pineapple-y.
Grapefruit, definitely. I mean, the grapefruit's the obvious one, isn't it, with a NEIPA?
Yeah, it's lovely. It smells really good. Really good head retention.
Yeah. So this is the, if you remember, this is the recipe that, which I'm sure you do, this is the recipe that Verdant did with Malt Miller, isn't it?
Yep.
So Verdant were kind enough to share the recipe through Malt Miller. But this one I did with I didn't use the, is it Lallemand?
Yep.
The Lallemand yeast they recommended. I used London Ale 3, I think it was, which is kind of highly regarded as being a really good yeast for NEIPAs.
Yes.
So I'm going to see it
Cheers,
again.
everyone. That's pretty close.
There's so much flavour in that, I think.
There is. It's got it's got that creamy mouthfeel that the original's got.
Yeah.
We should have done them side by side.
Yeah. We get a couple more cans in, compare them side by
Yeah.
side.
I'd say that's probably my favourite beer of yours yet. I think so.
Yay.
What would you say?
Certainly top 3. I was really happy with that milk stout.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is definitely the best sort of IPA pale, that from that category. This is definitely the best one of those I've done. Really pleased with it. Look at the lacing on the glass as well.
It's very good.
Kegging day for this was a massive disaster. I was due to start an afternoon shift at work, and I thought, right, I've got an hour and a half. I'll quickly keg the beer. It won't take long at all. Had everything all set up, ready to go. I thought, because I was in a little bit of a hurry, I thought I can go without the pressure relief valve fitting. It'll be fine. So I had CO2 going in the top of the fermenter, pushing the beer out through the racking port at the bottom, and I was transferring directly into the keg. Close transfer. It was going really, really well. Then all of a sudden, I couldn't hear the sound of CO2 escaping from the fermenter anywhere. So I was trying to figure out what it was, and I was just tinkering about a little bit. I boosted the pressure a little bit because I was worried that I'd run out of CO2 in the canister. I thought I might have to switch the canisters round. While I was trying to figure out what was going on, the whole fermenter just went boom, and the lid flew off and hit the ceiling.
This is his nice, expensive SS Brewtech fermenter.
Yeah, the sort of £700-800 fermenter. The lid just blew off, leaving me kind of covered in.
So pretty loud.
In debris. Yeah, it was a massive bang. My wife heard it from the house. Didn't even come outside to check that I was okay. She just thought I'd gotten angry with something and it hit something.
I assume just hoped you weren't okay.
Yeah, but I was just kind of standing there for like 5 minutes, just completely still trying to figure out what's covered in like beer.
But it hasn't affected it. I mean, it tastes perfect.
Yeah, really happy with it. Sorry, and I should point out as well, that was on the second keg. It was a 2-keg batch, and that was the first keg that this came from. It was fine, no issues.
Right.
That explosion occurred on the second keg.
Oh, okay.
So I then had
Fair
to do a sort of manual hand transfer, not hand, using a siphon.
And you bent all the the clamps out of shape.
Yeah, but I've fixed them now. So fortunately, the lid was okay. Yeah, the actual fermenter itself is all undamaged.
And the moral of the story?
Use a pressure relief valve. So There you go, kids.
And you hit the ABVs at 6.5%.
Yeah, bang on. Yeah, the gravities were absolutely spot on what they should have been.
Cool.
Yeah, the brew day went perfectly. It was the first time using the new brew kettle.
Yep.
A few learning points, as have been pointed out in the video. You know, I did sparge a little bit too fast in the first when I first transferred into the boil kettle.
Yeah.
I'm going to slow that right down next time. But it was a bit of a sort of an experimental day, just tinkering a little bit. Yeah, the brew day itself went perfectly, pretty much. The transfer day into the keg, not so good.
I wish we caught that on film.
What you?
If we caught the explosion, no. If we caught the explosion on film, that would have been absolute gold dust. This channel would have erupted.
I'm kind of relieved.
So learning notes for next time. Obviously, we've covered the release valve. So you will use the verdant yeast.
Yep.
That they developed with Malt Miller.
Yeah.
Any other points to take forward?
I don't think so. I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. I mean, every brew you do, there's always a couple of niggly bits that you think that you wish you could have done better. And there definitely are with this one. But the actual finished product, I'm really happy with.
Really good. Yeah, no, I agree. So that's that. That's the NEIPA. Excellent. Very highly recommend that one for you guys. Let's move on to the pale ale.
Yeah. It wasn't a big hiss.
Has this been bottled from the keg or?
Have you got your one?
What's going on with the colour?
I have no idea. Have you got your
What's
one?
going on with that colour?
You've got a bottle, haven't you?
Yeah, I think so.
I think the cap. I don't think the cap could have been on properly.
Take two, because this helmet just opened and brought the wrong one.
There's no fizz in that either. Actually, no, there is
fizz. There is fizz.
Yeah. Right. My bad. Dzień dobry.
That looks nice.
Yeah.
Happy with that?
Yeah, I think so.
So this one's got a Pilsner malt, hasn't it?
I think, yeah, no, it does. It does. Sorry, I'm getting my recipes muddled up. Yes, it definitely does. Pilsner malt.
Sure about that?
Simcoe, Perla, Citra. Is that it?
Yep.
I have to refer back to my notes.
Nicely carbonated.
Yeah.
Smells great.
Yeah. I wanted like a really kind of... Oh, sorry,
Cheers.
you're going for a cheers. Wanted like a really kind of fresh, kind of pale ale. Like a almost sessionable pale ale.
Yeah.
ABV-wise, I can't remember exactly what it was. It was around 5%, wasn't it?
I've gone in.
Have
I've
you?
dipped my wick. You happy with that?
Yeah, very happy. Yeah. Hour and a half boil on this one, which is quite long for a pale ale.
Is it the best of the 2 times you've done it before? 3 times you've done it before?
I think so. The aroma here, I was kind of expecting slightly more aroma off it, but it doesn't seem, because I did put in quite a lot more dry hops this time.
I don't get a huge amount of aroma, to be honest.
But it's quite...
It's more like of a fruity aroma.
Yeah. It's be kind of your sort of everyday kind of... That's kind of what I was going for. Everyday kind of pale ale. When you're moaning.
That's nice. I get like a sort of apricot-y kind of smell.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe a bit orange.
Yeah. Would be nicer on a warm summer's day, I think. As opposed to a
it would.
sort of 5-degree day in April.
It was actually nice here earlier. It's actually blue sky at the moment, but it is a bit cold.
Yeah. And the fire's not putting out a lot of heat either.
No, fire's rubbish. I blame the guy who started it, personally. I like it. I mean, I was more interested in the Even Sharks than this, because that beer's more up my street. But this one is a very good beer. But that brew day video, is more about the new equipment, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was more about testing out the new mash tun, testing out the therminator, which performed very well, if I recall. So what can we expect next from the Bald Eagle Skunk Works?
Skunk Works. Next, we're going to be working on. I want to do an imperial, sort of super imperial almost stout. I'm looking at doing a very, very strong high ABV stout, which I want to barrel age. Not using barrels though. I'm looking at getting some bourbon chips.
Oh, okay.
Thought that could be quite interesting.
Definitely, yeah. Well up for that.
I'm thinking I'm going to soak the bourbon chips in bourbon for about a week first. And then, sort of trying to figure out exactly what I'm doing with that. But that's sort of what I'm thinking. But also a sour. I've never done a sour before.
Cool.
We tried a few sour beers, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
The channel.
They're currently propping up the bottom of our Hall of Fame list. Yeah, they are. Yeah, the two sours. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's, I think, just because of our underdeveloped palate as far as that's concerned.
I'm looking at doing a sour, but with a few sort of interesting flavour additions: raspberry, peach, mango. All the.
Excellent.
Yeah. Maybe
Look
be a
forward to
little
that.
bit more experimental turnip, perhaps.
So we'll get back to you. So keep an eye out for one of Ed's brew days coming up again soon. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you guys again soon.